You're listening to 102.7 Chop FM, and this is ArtsTalk. Good evening. You're listening to 102.7 Chop FM, and this is ArtsTalk. This program is dedicated to seeking out and speaking to the artists of Newmarket. Not just musical artists, although we always have plenty of those, but artists practicing all disciplines, both amateur and professional. If you'd like to be on this show and you're in the arts in Newmarket, there are several ways you can contact us. One of them is to send an email to newmarketartscouncil@gmail.com, and the other is...
You can check out our Facebook page, look up ArtsTalk Radio, and send us a message there.
And don't forget to tune in every Wednesday at 5:45 p.m. to hear good music and to find out what's going on in the arts in Newmarket.
Oh, yeah.
And I should have told everybody that I'm your host, Dave Peters, and...
I am your host, Taylor Koss.
Correct. And tonight, we have the pleasure of being in conversation with Bartrick. Welcome, Bartrick.
Woo!
Thank you.
So Bartrick is Kyle on drums, John on vocal, Jason on bass, and Francois sur la guitar.
He said it.
So we're thrilled to have you guys here. Is this a Newmarket band? You guys from the area?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Born and raised?
No. Far from Canada. These guys are from out east.
Yeah.
I'm from Barrie originally, but I've been in Newmarket most of my life anyways. What about you, Kyle?
Yeah, I was born in Pickering, moved to Scarborough, moved to Aurora, Newmarket, been in the York region ever since.
Been around?
Oh, yeah.
John?
I am from Quebec.
Cool.
Good old Quebec. I don't sound like it, but I am. And Francois gives me a bunch of flack for that all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Tu parles bon français?
He
No?
speaks about like you, but the only difference is that he's trying when he does it.
Okay.
Salting
the guy already. All right, show's over.
If an Anglo like me can handle it, John, you can handle it. I have good restaurant French, I think. I can order saucisse, deux tournées, avec saucisse et pain brun. There you go. Yeah?
So when you go to Montreal, at least you can order yourself breakfast.
I
right?
can get a bite to eat when I'm in
Yes.
and I can only have egg, sausage, and brown toast
Pretty much.
every meal of the
breakfast,
day.
lunch, and dinner.
I'm glad you explained that. John had no idea what you were
Don't give me that. All right.
So what brought Bartrick together, and how long has it been?
Oh, okay. I guess it'd be best to explain that. So when I started working at Allied International Credit, which I'm sure some of you...
I've heard of that.
Sure we do. It's called Bill Goslin now.
Yes, it is.
Half the Newmarket works.
Right? A lot of my friends right there.
Pretty much. So I started working there, and then I met my boss named Dave, and he introduced me to Kyle, and then Kyle found out I was a singer, brought me to, over to Jay's place, and then we started making music from there. I brought Frank over from a previous band that we were in high school, and then here we are 3 years later.
3 years down the road.
Yeah,
It's been
3
about
years
3
down the
years
road.
now.
Yeah, something like
There's a
that.
lot of funny stories involved with
Yeah.
how we managed to get together.
You got to thank Craig.
Me and Jay were in a band previously called Ravaged Remains. We were just in a instrumental band. We didn't really have any gigs or anything, and then our guitar player had to take off to go to Edmonton. So I was bugging him to pick up the bass. Long story short was my friend introduced me to John. He came over and we were trying to audition him, and Jay had a few too many that day and passed out on his couch.
It's an audition. You're supposed to be so.
It was informal. I thought it was supposed to be informal.
Charts and everything to grade him.
So after that, I knew he was going to be great. He's really good lyrically. He comes up with the stuff on the spot and alters it later. So anything that I threw at him, he was able to just create lyrics on the spot, and we're writing songs out of nowhere. It was just a really good day.
Was there something in common musically with the bands that you both liked that you didn't know about?
I would say it's quite the opposite, actually.
Yeah.
Like, me and Kyle, we grew up like listening to a lot of heavy metal and death metal music, and that's what we played in previously. And then meeting John and Frank, like you guys are a lot more, I guess.
Yeah, indie stuff,
Yeah.
alternative music, more into that kind of stuff, right? Light rock and such. And then we kind of our two style collided when we started making music, and it actually just worked out pretty good. Actually.
Yeah. Then you have Bartrick. That's the
Yeah,
sound
that's
of
that's
Bartrick.
what you get.
That's a good, yeah. description of that.
Light rock and metalheads.
Yeah,
pretty much.
That's right.
It's
Headbangers
polar
and there's
opposites, and
guys
it
just
came
going
out.
side to side.
Yeah.
You couldn't get more opposite than that. That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Funny
So-
to say.
What did you sing at the audition then? How did that work?
It was more like play a guitar riff and I'll sing it.
So just put down a groove and you will.
And yeah, I'll make the lyrics, I'll make the melody, and just kind of go with it. And
Really?
Yeah,
I don't remember any of that.
for good reason.
Right
See,
here.
I'm
You were
not
asleep.
I'm not that great of a guitar player, but I mean, originally that's what I had planned on wanting to do in the band. So I had started playing the guitar, and he just started singing, and everything that came out was great. And then, so shortly after that, we were looking on Craigslist for a guitar player or a drummer to fill the spot. We had one person that said they were going to come out, and we were like, great, like we'll meet you at the jam spot. And that's where Frank came in, because he had dropped off John for practice that day. And I mean, long story short, the guy never showed up that we had brought from Craigslist.
Thank you,
And
Unreliable, right?
Yeah.
I brought my guitar. Yeah.
Frank had his guitar in his trunk, so he came out and jammed with us.
I was
and
waiting for you guys before these guys showed up. We made a song in the driveway of the jam spot, sitting in the back of my car,
It's that.
and we got in, played it, and we still play that song to this
that
day.
song.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Lucky number 7, if you're wondering. That's the song.
Yeah.
That's the song.
Quite
That's a very cool story.
Yeah.
So, John, where does this come from, this poetry that you can just sort of grab out of the air?
I would say that it's kind of genetic, if anything. My mom was a choir guitarist and singer as well, so she was a songwriter, and then my dad's a poet. So kind of both intertwined, and then kind of out of nowhere, when I was in the band initially with François, when we were in band in high school, it kind of just happened. And it was really, really cool, because it's a very natural talent. And I'm very fortunate for it, obviously, and I've just grown to kind of work on it since then. But I don't know where it comes from. It just kind of happens, and
It's magic.
let's
Still
call
to
it
this day,
magic.
I've known this
Yeah.
guy for 8 years, and I don't know why. Every time I play a random guitar riff, he just can make lyrics to it and just start going. I don't know
That's
how
a
he does
great
it.
Yeah, the lyrics that you come up with, do you find that they're like autobiographical, or are they stuff that you see in the world, or what do you usually find yourself singing about?
It's a mix of the two. At the very least, the next song that's going to be coming up, Savior Part 2, was actually about a relationship I was about to get into, and kind of things didn't start working out because drinking and drugs were getting involved and stuff like that. And I had this dream that this girl was gonna like pass out at one of my shows from like ODing, and that's where that song kind of stemmed from, at the very least lyrically speaking. So when it came down to it, it's autobiographical, and then sometimes I talk about other stuff, and
Yeah. Cool.
it just kind of falls on that
Yeah.
list.
Sometimes it's random and it works.
Yeah,
Let's go with
totally.
that.
I'm still fascinated, though, about where you go. Can you do that extemporaneously, just sort of pound, like fire off a rhyme? If the guy started playing a groove here?
Not words that would make sense completely.
Yeah,
I
you
might
could-
have a sentence or two that's like, that's cool, but other than that, it's like, ooh,
Sure, like a placeholder kind of idea.
Take me higher, all those generic things I can sing about.
Oh
Rock
yeah,
and
a lot of
roll. I don't know, like, you know what I mean?
a lot
Like,
of
there's-
oh yes.
Yeah,
just-
like, I don't know. No, I haven't been practicing it. But
The best way to describe it would probably be freestyling rock music.
yeah, that's what it sounds
That's-
So
like.
Yeah.
was rap an influence then? Or was that?
Well, I think all of us agree that we all love Rage Against the Machine. And,
yeah.
and I think that's fair to say that we kind of got a lot of our...
that is just a great rock band,
Right?
Yeah.
It's a great rock band.
And they have the funk. I was looking at your page a couple days ago, and you guys, one of the words you use to describe yourselves is funk or funky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of like, that influence shines
Yeah,
through
Yeah,
the
when we
music.
started.
Originally, especially with the bass riffs, it's a lot of funky kind of undertones, and I don't know where really, like, because we were all fans of Rage Against the Machine, but someone actually said you guys remind me of them, so we just kind of said, well, yeah, I guess they are like an
Nice.
influence of
Yeah.
ours.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, they would be.
It's a high compliment.
Take it and run.
We weren't like, oh no. We're like, oh really? Maybe this can work.
Based on our musical preference, you could probably guess that there's not too many bands that we all agree on, but I mean, Rage is definitely one of them. So
Usually a car ride with all of us is the radio's just off because we can't agree.
Song for song, right?
Yeah,
Take
kinda.
turns. We should to be fair.
But isn't it interesting that Rage is at the center? Like of all the things that come around, Rage is at the center.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So we're gonna. Is this a good time to play a song? 6 o'clock.
Seems like a good time.
We'll talk about a little bit of recording in a minute. But where did you record this? Is this off a CD you've got? Uh-oh.
It's
Sounds interesting.
It's a backseat of a car. With,
might as well been.
Yeah, it's our best effort. We knew we wanted to get something recorded for this show. We tried to get something half decent, and we pretty much spent a month and a half working with
That.
a very small recording
I have the
machine.
same one as you.
Yeah, and
those
so
of you who aren't watching the simulcast on TV, he's pointing at a very small
a Zoom recorder.
electronic device. Is that what that's called?
Yes.
It's a Zoom
so
H3. if I'm not
we
mistaken.
pretty much we did the best that we could, and John edited them. So props to him for as good as it sounds, because when it originally came out, it really didn't sound
Actually
as good
recorded
as it
it
does
at
now.
the jam spot too in one of the rooms.
Had
there.
Max come in
Yeah,
a few
yeah.
times trying to
That's what
help
we've
us
been working
get
on
it
for this
work
month.
Oh,
okay.
you guys are amazing. Okay, so did you do it track by track, or is it live off the floor
All
altogether?
live. It was all
No,
live.
it was track by track.
Like, I'm sorry, like instrument by instrument. I mean, yeah, like.
No, it was live. It was
Live, okay.
a live recording.
Cool. All right.
Um,
I'm looking forward to
Sorry.
this. No, sorry.
And is there something we need to know about Savior Part 2? Where was, like, what happened to Part 1, for example?
We kind of scrapped it, actually.
I liked it, but these guys didn't.
I really didn't like that song at all when we first wrote it, and we wrote Savior Part 2 afterwards, obviously, and Savior Part 2, it came out a lot better than Part 1, and we ended up scrapping Part 1 and keeping Part 2, so...
At the very least, in order to give it a background in terms of atmosphere and what the songs were initially about and why it's part 2. One was man wanting to protect or save this person. In order to do so, they had to be a protector, they had to be a guardian. And then part 2, at the very intro of the song, it's a drug-induced haze. And then you kind of slowly come out of it, and then it goes into the song and goes into what took place in my dream.
Cool.
So.
Interesting.
John, you're
Okay.
so deep.
I like part 2.
I didn't even
like
know
part
the
2
songs had that much.
We just play it.
The intro makes so much more sense now.
I just
This
played-
is Bartrick with Savior Part 2 on 102.7 Chop FM. Okay, so Savior Part 2 is not playing. And
Way to go, John.
Taylor's trying to fix John's problem
trying.
here, fix John's mistake. It is an MP3, right, John?
Yes.
Let's just talk about the band for like 2 more minutes.
Okay.
Okay?
So, and maybe this is a good time to talk about and give a shout out, which we've already kind of done, to the Jam Spot.
Style is definitely a lot. I don't want to say darker, but it's a little.
It's more
it's a
depth
little
to the song, you know. Like, like it's just like it's
a
not
little
like
more rock.
But yeah, entertainment for like a bar crowd. You know, it's really more like you want to listen to that song because it makes you feel a certain way, right?
Cool.
Which I think after like the 2 years that we were playing together, we really. Coming from such different angles, we finally kind of met somewhere, and we're like, you know what? We all agree this is
That
really
mesh is so important in
Yeah.
the band, right? That's what you guys y'all agree on something, right?
Yeah, when we
It's good.
started, it was just like, oh yeah, this is good. This is this is fun. It's fun to play, but you know, am I really into it? And that's why we scrapped so many songs, and then we just started doing this newer stuff, and it's just, then we clicked. So that's kind of the direction we're gonna head.
Beauty.
Well, the set that I saw you do, it was very dancey. There was a lot of people out
Yeah.
there, a lot.
Yeah.
Newmarket loves you.
Yeah, we
I
usually
know,
get
like,
them to
Bartrick's
move.
playing. Okay, cool. It's gonna be a good show, busy show.
Absolutely. Did you figure it
I
out?
think we might. So let's try to listen to Savior Part 2 once more.
Okay.
If there's dead air, then you'll get to hear our lovely voices real soon.
Cross your fingers.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Thank
with Savior Part 2 on 102.7 Chop FM. You're listening to Arts Talk. I'm Taylor Koss.
I'm Dave Peters.
And we are in conversation with Bartrick.
I wasn't expecting that. I got caught off
A lot
guard.
of people just like, they just keep silent. No,
Messes
that was
everybody up.
How'd you
perfection.
get the sex key?
That's a good song, guys. That's
Yeah.
a rocking song.
Thank you.
Makes me wonder what number 1 sounds like. Part 1. Maybe it's.
It's good. It's good.
Responses is good. We
It
believe-
wasn't that good.
It wasn't that
It really wasn't.
Sounds like your opinions can like conflict quite a bit.
Oh, very much so.
You know.
Like, well, I guess the amount of scrap songs versus songs that we kept really speak to our musical tastes.
Yeah, because it's really a democracy in the band. If like we're 4, so sometimes it's a tie, and then we got a fist fight for it. But most of the time, if it's 3 against 1, one person like it, like Savior Part 1. Okay, just saying. Then if 3 other people, then it's just that's it. You can't play it.
That's
Right?
really cool that you guys have such a fair and like open-mindedness towards your music and songwriting, because sometimes egos get in the way of bands and songwritings, and then you don't like my song or you don't
Yeah.
like that, and it's really good that you guys are so.
Well, I think that's
fair
part of the
that way.
reason we've stayed together so long, because we're very honest. If we don't like the song, we won't just kind of sit there, shut up, and keep playing it and go through the motions.
Yeah,
We'll
you
just say,
start bubbling.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like.
yeah. And even then, like if 3 guys, or maybe it's a bad example, but if 3 guys like a song and one guy just really, really, really hates it, then we'll be like, okay, you hate it that much, we'll get rid of it.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah,
done
actually,
that
we've
before.
done that
Yeah.
before. We scrap songs that way too, right? But the ego is there. We're not taken away from it, but we just know how to manage it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I'm a little ashamed to say that my ego is probably the worst out of the group.
Oh yeah,
I
don't
still
worry,
know
I'll back
when-
you up.
Yeah.
100% on that one.
Yeah, I'll happily step down if it's a group vote. So.
Oh yeah, but then he doesn't talk to us for the rest of the day.
That's very true. And I'm
That's
the one
not
with
true.
the objects that I can throw. So.
Yeah, we gotta watch out for those sometimes because we're in a small room and it's really easy to aim. So
if the drums are loud, he might be a little.
How often, though, are you coming in, Kyle, with a groove or something that is the foundation where you're saying, let's build something around this? Is that something that happened?
It has happened in the past. I don't want to say that it's a more often occurrence, but some of our songs, I get to play around more, and that's what I like to do. Is that there's the main part of the song where I'm kind of just keeping the beat, and I try to flavor that up as much as I can. But it's the parts where I can really let loose that I enjoy the most, and then those generally are the parts where we can take it and shape the rest of the song around it.
Mm-hmm.
There's not too many songs that we've really done like that. One of the ones that we did was what's the name of the song I'm thinking? The one that we
Keep
have.
Calm?
Yeah, Keep Calm. Keep Calm is one of the ones where I have my fun in between little parts, and we'll be hearing that one later. But that's definitely one of the ones.
9
where it's
times
like
out of
that.
10, though, Frank is coming in with a riff, and then it starts off as just a riff. He walks in, he's like, hey guys, you want to check this out? And like you said, that's where kind of everyone steps in, and we all kind of put our little touch on it. And a lot of that time, too, you come in with this riff, and we love it, but once we all put our finger, we touch it, it completely comes out a different song.
yeah, it's a completely different song. But like you said, 9 times out of 10, I'll come in with something. They'll go around it, or sometimes we'll have songs that we just make on the spot. Those ones are some of the ones we've kept to. A lot of them were scrapped because after 5-10 times of playing it, you're like, okay, maybe it's not that good. But there is
The first
songs.
5 times, you're like, this is magic.
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna be famous. And then 5 times later, you're like, yeah, this really sucks.
But
First 5 episodes of the Brady Bunch were probably pretty good. But
But I'd say, if anything, in terms of creation, just to quickly add on to it, what's really, really fun is that Frank makes a guitar riff, and then we kind of have a pretty good idea. Me and Frank have been playing music together for going on 8-9 years now,
Yeah,
something
8-9
like that.
years, yeah.
So we have a really good idea of, I have a very good idea of where Frank is going.
Yeah.
So what's great is that first take, first go, I can come in, at least sing, and kind of give it some sort of atmosphere, and then these guys join in right away as well. So it's really, really good for that, because we just kind of get everything in one go, and then we can kind of start messing around with stuff afterwards.
Yeah, no, it is a good way. Like, now we've been playing for 3 years with these guys. Me and John, like he said, we've been playing for like 8-9 years. So when I'm starting, what he does with his lyrics about just going about, I do the same thing on guitar. Sometimes I'll just pick up and I'll just write a song as I'm going. He follows me and does the same thing with the lyrics, which is mind blowing. But he knows where I'm going with the next chord. He kind of knows my style. He knows where I'm about to go.
Sure.
But now that I've been playing with these guys for 3 years now
I know
they're
what
like
he's
that
doing.
too, right? So we're playing a song we've never played before, and the next part we all already know where we're going. And then sometimes we get people coming out of our jam like, "Oh wow, how long have you been practicing this song?" He's like, "Actually, we just made it as we were going now."
It's funny too because like I saw an article someone posted on Facebook, and it's so true. It was talking about musicians have almost like a telekinesis, especially when you play with people for a long time. You know what they're about to do before they do it, and it's like they consider it almost like a sixth sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting, and it spoke to me like that's so true. I don't know. I thought it was really cool.
I think we're all hardwired with a certain sense that way. Where you're doing something, you're jamming, and you think the breakdown's coming right here.
Yeah.
No one discusses it. Sometimes you look around, sometimes you don't. And boom, the breakdown happens right there.
Totally.
That's my favorite look when I look around the room and we all
Yeah,
look
we're
at each
all-
other.
Everybody looks up at the same time, just the breakdown. Yeah.
Those are usually the ones that we keep.
Those are usually
But
the
that's
songs.
the magic. That's the stuff that runs the
Yes.
chill up your spine. You go, where did that come from? And this idea that you come in with a riff that becomes a song that starts to set its own rules, right? Now it needs certain things, and there's general agreement about what it needs. And it may not have been something you'd envisioned when you brought the riff in, if you'd envisioned anything at all.
No, sometimes it's something completely different. Like I play a lot of my acoustic guitar at home. Like when I was back in high school, I was playing like 8 to 9 hours of guitar every day. Like my fingers were green from playing so much. Now I don't have that luxury of time anymore, but I try to play as much as I can. And sometimes I'm making this sweet little song on acoustic, and I'm having a good time, and then I bring it to these guys, and they just destroy it. They just go to town on it, and I'm like, my beautiful song. It's so badass now. Yeah, exactly, right? So, like, there's the newer stuff we were working on, like Nameless for Now and like Psych Word Sorrows are all songs that I wrote acoustically, and are very soft songs when you hear them first. But then with the band and the drums and the bass, and then John kicks in with his lyrics, it's a completely different song. Now, actually, when we're going to play Psych Word Sorrow on acoustic, I've actually changed the way I play it to fit what we were playing now in the band, right? It was a completely different song first, nice picking.
That's good because I'd be completely lost.
Yeah, you would be.
Well, that sounds like a nice segue to maybe playing that song.
Oh, okay. Well,
So, I mean, we're all familiar with how the unplugged phenomena, what it did for bands like Alice in Chains. So maybe this is the first time you guys have played this song acoustically in this setting. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we have this is not a cajon. What is this?
What is that?
It's basically just a sound box.
It's a sound.
It's got a snare sound on this side, a little tom sound on this side,
Oh.
and a bass in the middle.
That
It's
is
like
too
it looks
cool.
like a cajon, but it's resting on the knees instead of on the floor. It's like a T shape. This is for the listeners that can't see.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess a
Pretty
cajon has a
cool.
resonator like that, something along that line. That's very, very cool. Where'd you get that?
Actually, it's Jay's. You picked it up at the Arts.
Yeah, I got it from the Arts. I think it was like
From the
$120.
Arts.
Yeah, I saw it and I just fell in love with it. I don't even really play like percussion at all, but I saw it and I love it. Like, I love it.
I've got a lot of use out of it since he bought it. So.
Yeah, we're grooving it. All right, so what are we gonna hear again?
Psych Word Sorrows. Maybe you should say it because my French accent gets in the way.
Psych Ward Sorrows.
Psych Word Sorrows. I don't like it.
Psych Ward Sorrows by Bartrick on 102.7 Chop FM.
I remember the words you said. I can't get you out of my head. like I meant to, and I will forget you. I will forget you. I will forget you. And live my life like I meant to, and I will forget you. I will forget you, and I will forget you. And live my life like I meant to, and I will forget you. I will forget and I will forget you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Holy moly!
Not
I got
too,
goosebumps in that part. I swear to God.
not too bad for the
Bartrick.
first time playing that acoustic.
Yeah, you guys really rock at like every kind of setting. That was
Yeah,
really a treat. That was
fantastic.
awesome.
Fantastic. That was Bartrick live here on ArtsTalk on 102.7 Chop FM.
Yes, that was Psych Ward Sorrows.
Correct.
Yes.
Very, very good
Bartrick.
stuff. Really good. Really good. Nice little breakdown too. See, you look at this.
I think Steve and I looked at him. This is the breakdown? Is this the breakdown? Yes! Right?
Really
That's
good.
good.
Really
Oh, that was
Yeah.
really cool.
I really hope I didn't blow anyone's ears out or anything like that. That would suck.
No, we
Your
were
remote power is really impressive, though.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank you.
Yeah, that's and you got quite a range there. And we were managing the EQ carefully.
I appreciate that.
Keeping that finger on that pod.
Have you taken vocal lessons? Did you get any teaching on how to sing?
No.
wow, that's impressive.
It really was my mom kind of showing me a few things, and I owe her a lot because she introduced me to music in a songwriting way, and it's very different when you're being introduced to music in just a listening state.
Yeah, here's
And
the
then-
song.
Mhm.
That's it. And
But
how they made it.
listening to the chords, listening to the melody, kind of just brought me into that state of mind, and then it just kind of stayed that way for the rest of my life. So
You didn't do the traditional piano lessons, pling, pling, plunk, plunk kind
no,
of thing?
none of that.
It turns kids, turns so many
That's
kids off, right?
Oh no! It only actually took me about a year into this band to start working on vocal like warm-ups. Before that, not really any sort
Yeah.
of discipline, which was really necessary when I realized that I had a very powerful voice. I needed discipline in order to get the right sound.
Yeah,
Well,
at first
so-
when he started, it was just more him. Like he was actually the first time he was singing that way with that very powerful voice. But every time he finished jam, he blew his voice for the
Yeah.
entire week,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now,
So-
now 2 years down the road, it's much more about controlling what he's doing. And
sure.
now, when he gets off at the jam, now everything's okay. Now 'cause he's
Technique
doing it.
matters. I mean, technique does matter.
Yeah.
I think you tend to absorb the lessons of technique when you realize why they're important,
For sure.
as opposed to when you're 8 years old and you're just being told to go dot 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 dot, dot, right?
Yeah.
Have you taken lessons, Kyle? On playing
Never.
drums? No, never taken lessons. That's so totally self-taught.
Yeah, I had my uncle played the drums. He was the one who kind of got me interested in it, but as far as actually learning to play them and everything, Rock Band helped.
For real, so it does help drop. Like, it can help you learn how to play drums. and
That's
It
help
does
how-
nothing for guitar. I got
No,
here. It's
we-
like green,
I
blue,
know,
blue. Where are my
right?
buttons?
I that's pretty much how I figured out that I could be a good drummer if I
Nice.
put my mind to it. I played a bunch of that game when I got my first apartment, and then I bought my first drum kit, and I pretty much blew the eardrums of the people who were living upstairs. But it was good, and that's when I learned a lot of what came to me as far as drumming is concerned came from just continuous playing. The first band that me and Jay were in was the first band that I ever played drums in, and where I started from to where I ended when I finished that band was a huge difference. Same with him on the bass. Neither of us were really any good at our instruments when we started that band, but by the end of it, we knew we had.
Speak for yourself.
By the end of it, we knew that we had built something that we could take to a band and actually play good music.
And say here
especially.
we're a rhythm section, we actually know what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you didn't feel at some point that you needed some lessons to help you refine that a little bit, though.
No, I honestly, when I listen to things, I try to imitate it, and when I try to imitate it, that's generally how I learned how to do a lot of the things. A friend of mine came in who was a drummer, and he showed me a couple of techniques that he did, but it was nothing along the lines of a lesson or anything like that. It was more just like, oh, hey, you should play this at this part, and I'm like, oh, okay, and then I started to throw different variations of the beat that he showed me how to do, and then different variations of that beat. So it's basically just been a lot of practice, but I can say that it's never been any formal training or anything, and it's just been me messing around with a drum kit.
And
Jay?
only for a few years, right? You said like
Yeah, I
you've only been
started.
playing for
Actually, it's been a while
years?
now. Seven
Oh,
years.
right, because you're in the band before.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
And you were going to play guitar. That's the,
Yeah, I originally started out as a guitar player. I played guitar in a couple of bands. I was never any good. I never learned scales or anything like that. It was always
Look at
just
me for skill.
rhythm section, just playing the best rhythms I could come up with.
Power
Which again,
chords.
I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but I have like a musical thing where I just kind of throw stuff together, and when it sounds good, I change it a little bit, and then I make it sound better. So I started as a guitar player mainly because my parents couldn't afford to buy me a drum kit. I got a $125 guitar at the Hawk Shop versus a $2,000
You don't get
drum
much
kit that I
drums
play
from-
now.
Yeah. You might
That's
get
a
the
pretty small kit for him.
Yeah,
maybe get the
exactly.
monkey with the drum, but that's about all you're gonna get.
That's worth more than $125.
Yeah, that would improve. What did you say? This was
I think it was like
120.
$120.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's good value.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jay, you take lessons?
I went to a couple. Like my dad, when I first started getting into music, like after seeing my cousin play music and knowing some friends that did, I told my dad like I'd like to. I went to a few lessons, and learning that way wasn't for me. I didn't like to be, sit here and
Yeah.
do what I'm doing. And every time I would go to a lesson, I'd be like, no, I just want to learn this song. I want to learn the song. He's like, you're not going to learn guitar that way. And it's like, okay, then this isn't for me. And I stopped playing bass for many, many years until this guy was like, oh, well, you have to. Okay.
Kyle has a way with words.
You have to.
It's very persuasive.
It was,
Yeah, pretty
it was a
much.
lot of fighting actually, but I finally got him.
The
to do
first jam I was supposed to come to, I didn't show up.
it. In all fairness, neither did anybody else who was supposed to.
It was just Kyle in a room
And
with
then
a
I
drum
felt
kit.
so bad the next
Uh,
week I came.
That was Kyle with all his friends.
Yeah, all by myself.
How did that one-man band start?
Francois, you take lessons?
No, I tried to learn. When I was in 6th grade, I saw my cousin play guitar. And he was already pretty good at what he was doing. And I was like, I want to learn to play guitar, right? So my parents bought me a guitar. I played it for about 20 minutes, and I said, this is way too hard. I'm never going to be able to even touch it, right?
Right.
And then I didn't touch guitar till I was in 10th grade in music class because I was like, I don't want to play flute, so I'll go play guitar that I have when I'm home, so I'll go with that, right? Then I started with that, and it was like music class, so you were learning the chords and everything. I did good in the practice exam of playing it, but in the theory, I flopped completely. You can't get me to sit down and try to learn this stuff. For me, it's not interesting. But then I tried to get some lessons from one of my dad's friend, and it was like same as you, I felt really like I was sitting down in front of this guy, and he was showing me how he plays guitar. And then he's trying to make me do the same thing he's doing, and I was just like, I don't want to do it that way. Like, why are you doing this way? So I stopped with that, and then really when we kicked in the first band in high school, which is like end of 10th grade, I was playing a lot of electric, but then I got a decent acoustic. And then that's when I started. I was just like, it clicked for me. I was just I loved playing acoustic, and I was doing a co-op in high school, teaching kids how to play guitar, even though I didn't know how to play guitar that well. So I was like learning at the same time as them, and so I was playing like 2 hours of
You
guitar.
were charging a lot for that. Eh?
No, it was a co-op. It was free, so they're like, it's like, yeah, I ain't paying for that. And then after that, I was like, as soon as I got home, that's all I was doing. I was playing 8 to 9 hours of guitar. I was playing in French class. The teacher couldn't stop me from playing. She's just like, sit in the back and be quiet. I'm like, okay. So I was like,
Yeah, he didn't need it. He already knows how to speak.
yeah, I just like,
What's she gonna do?
I already know how to spell
Yeah.
that. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so then that's really when it clicked for me. And then it was just mostly like you said earlier, learn half a song for covers, to learn the intro to one from Metallica, and like, oh, I can play this. So, whoa, there's like 4 more pages of this, like new next song, right? And then I just had so much fun making my own stuff that then I didn't even bother learning covers. I just, I want to create, and that's when we started really doing our acoustic stuff and jamming together, and that's when me and him really clicked that, like, wow, we love music. That's what we want to do, right?
Hearing it out loud now just really sounds like we're all just way too impatient to learn things.
It's surprisingly
ADD may be something you have in common as a
Well,
It seems to keep you going too a little bit too,
Yeah,
right?
we
So it's
you
not
take the good
such
with the
a-
bad, I guess.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, I think at the very least it gives us the freedom to make mistakes, where you're taught otherwise. You're taught to a certain extent to play a certain way because that's the way you're meant to be playing.
Yeah.
And then you're allowed making mistakes when we're jamming together and stuff like that, and we're not all that experienced.
It's not
on
as
a-
formal.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really just a bunch of guys together wanting to play music because they want to play music. It's just like what you said, the scales earlier and everything. I've never learned scales. I don't know if you show me the music. I know how to read tabs because anyone can read tabs. But, I don't know the notes. I don't know what I'm playing. You ask me what I'm playing, I have no clue. I look at Jay and I'm like, I'm playing this. I can't play
And
that.
there's no shame in that, of course.
No.
Paul McCartney doesn't know how to read music either, right? So that.
I wouldn't say I'm as good as him, but,
But I guess it becomes an issue if you feel that you need to get better, right? You feel like you're not. I took some lessons when I thought there were some things I wanted to do that I couldn't figure out how to do, and that.
okay.
But maybe the most important advice I got was when the coach I hired looked at me behind my own kit, and I had the snare too close into my groin, so I was at an angle on the pedals, the hi-hat and the kick drum. So I moved back and got my knee up over my foot, and it changed the world for me. All of a sudden, I had a lot more control, and I could play the kick drum parts that I wanted to play. That was that simple little piece of advice that I had.
Sometimes you got your tunnel vision. You're used to playing it a certain way,
I
right?
felt comfortable. It wasn't like I felt awkward or anything, but that little move, like, a couple of inches back away from the snare made a huge, huge difference. I also felt a little bit of pressure because the guitar player in the band at that time was really, really, really good. I kind of felt like I needed to get better to catch up.
Welcome to our world. Well, one of the things, like I said, it's a constant learning experience. Is pretty much how I look at it. Is I'm always looking to get better, and the same thing is we prefer not to learn from other people because it's just I don't want to learn how to play like you. I want to learn to do it myself.
Yes.
So, in that sense, I mean, there's always something else that we can learn, and it's always practice and getting better. And I mean, for me right now, it's playing quieter.
Yeah, that's a really
I have
hard
very
thing.
heavy hands, and
Yeah.
and
I know exactly what you mean, and I really admire drummers who can play with restraint. It's because it's not easy to do. It's not easy. I mean, Taylor talks about it all the time, right? You have a lot of acoustic sets that you do.
I went through a lot of drummers that
Because they wouldn't
playing
play
with piano was really hard, and everyone, well, not everyone, but playing drums with piano, other than playing like a cajon or something, playing a kit, you kind of have to be a little jazzy or something. So
You do.
yeah, to play, to be able to be versatile in your playing and dynamic, and for any instrument, right?
That was the hardest
Dynamics
part
is
about
the big
recording
deal.
for us because this thing couldn't take him.
Right.
Every recording was just.
I was literally playing as quiet as my body would let me. I could not, like, I was pretty much just like dropping the drumsticks onto the drums at this point, and I was still too loud. I was still blowing it out of the water.
Yeah.
Like,
The
I had
pinkies up, you know.
Toothpicks is what I play with toothpicks.
In fairness, the other side of that is life is short. Hit 'em hard.
Coming from a
you.
drummer, he's a drummer.
Thank you.
He's a drummer.
Finally, somebody who understands me. You all could learn something from him.
I don't want to learn from him. I want to learn myself.
After a month and a half of playing really, really quiet, I guarantee you the next jam we're gonna do
He's gonna
is
smash
we're
it.
gonna just
Oh,
go
yeah.
we're gonna blow all
I'm
over
kicking
your
the drum kit across the room.
Look out, Max.
It's gonna be
You
great.
guys should buy insurance for that.
Max,
Oh yeah,
Mike
I hope
might
Max
come
is
and see it.
listening. Sorry, Max. Just kidding.
Do you guys want to play another song?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, yeah.
What are we gonna hear?
Beautiful.
What do you-
Beautiful.
Yeah, let's do beautiful.
Yeah, we actually that's our acoustic jam, our actual.
Yeah, this
real-
is the only song that we play that's actually supposed to be acoustic.
Really?
Yes.
So this isn't in your live set
Appropriate.
typically? You-
No,
Oh.
we do, but we play it like electric.
Yeah, we just play it hard. We play it hard.
It's supposed to be an acoustic, but we play electric.
At the very least, I'll give you a little background about this song.
Yeah.
It sounds like a love song. It really isn't.
Yeah, we played it at a wedding.
Oh,
If you
God.
listen to the lyrics of
Yeah.
the song, it's really not a song that should be played at a wedding. but there was a special request for us to play it at a wedding.
Really?
Anyways, the song basically is about someone falling in love with you and you not falling in love with them back.
Oh.
And although they're fantastic in every shape or form, you don't feel it. You just don't.
Chemistry.
And yeah, there's just that one thing that's missing. And then this song perfectly exemplifies that, at least in my best way of singing
That's
it.
so sad. It's so sad. And what's the song called?
Beautiful as You Are.
Beautiful as You Are by Bartrick on 102.7. Chop FM. And Francois is ready. He got his pick up there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Don't worry.
Today.
All right, off you go.
Find it hard to tell you now the reason for this foreign frown. And I'm sorry to say, but I don't feel the same way. And I really don't want to go, but it's a door that I have to close. And I'm sorry to say, we have to go our separate ways. Fall can't be with you, can't be with you now. As beautiful as you are.
Bartrick on 102.7 Chop FM with As Beautiful As You Are.
That was beautiful.
That was nice.
So catchy.
I can see why they would want that. That's a really same line.
Like,
And you can see the groom looking in the bride's eyes, beautiful as you are.
That they don't even know.
They don't even know.
That's the worst part.
They did know. They did know.
Can't be with you as beautiful as you are. That's
Like
that's a really nice
we
lyric.
tried to convince them. We did.
Listen to the whole lyric. No, never mind.
That's a really beautiful. Well, that is a really good song.
Actually, yeah, we played it at our last show for a couple, and at the end, John sings "I can't be with you, as beautiful as you are," but this doesn't apply in this scenario, though.
Yeah.
And you guys' voices sound very, very nice.
I was gonna say that as well.
Thank you.
Compliment each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And
really
you get
cool.
a lot of that chemistry where you're back and forth, and it
I would
really
actually
works.
not even sing a note if it wasn't for this guy. He got me out of my shell when it comes
God,
up
did
to
I
that.
ever have to kick his butt?
Yeah,
My
even
goodness.
singing here, I was shaking.
Singing's
I was
Oh,
hard.
like,
you
yeah.
guys great. You guys are really cool.
Were
guys
you a
are
little
really
out of
fun.
tune there, Jake?
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah, I
trying
heard
to
it. It
fix
was just
that
a
right
little
now.
bit.
I noticed that Kyle and Jay aren't chipping in on the vocal though. No singing from the rhythm section.
You know
Normally we do. It's the acoustic stuff. When we play it, we find that if all of us are singing to that, we drown out the instruments. So
It's crowded.
Actually, in the band, they do sing a lot. We have 4 mics always live,
Oh.
and we do most of our chorus are actually sung. Everybody is almost singing throughout the entire
Yep.
chorus. So.
Yep.
we also have a lot of anthem style songs where all of us are just giving her.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice,
Keep
very
Calm
good.
would be the
Keep
best.
Calm.
Yeah, Keep Calm is the
Example of
last
that.
song you guys are gonna hear. That one
Yes.
has really the whole band in there with the vocal part. Actually, we actually each
We're
are
looking forward to it.
Really, the
And
whole
we
band
are
and all of it.
flat out of time.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
an hour, boys.
Oh, wow.
It was great talking to you. We love one of the reasons we love doing this is the enthusiasm that guys like you bring to it. It's obviously you love this a lot.
Oh yeah.
And it's a tremendous pleasure for us
Yes,
to hear you
thank
guys
you.
play and to talk to you about what you do.
Awesome.
So before we go, where can people find your music and where can people go to hear? You got gigs coming up, website, stuff like that.
No gigs planned right now. We're hoping to actually get some proper recording done.
Yeah, we want to get some recordings so that next gig that we actually have people keep bugging us. Where can I buy your
You
CD?
You should because
Yeah.
they're good songs. You
Yeah,
gotta-
and that's what we
Good.
really want to do. We were kind of tired of letting our fans down. Each gig they come, do you have a CD? It's like, no, well, what we want to do now this summer is really work on, we're probably going to do a few gigs anyways, but, really work on getting some professional recordings done so we can actually have
In the
something.
meantime, though, the Facebook page is there. You can listen to more terrible recordings there.
Cell phones. A lot of people record us with their cell phones. Some are better than others. But
Yeah.
And then there's a few things on YouTube to check out as well. But
YouTube's probably the better place to go. There's
Yeah.
a lot of our live stuff. We played a couple of band wars down at the Revival.
down
There's
Toronto.
a lot of good recordings and stuff
Cool.
from there. So
Yeah, we
Awesome.
won a photo shoot from those guys because we won
Oh,
second place.
congratulations.
Yeah, there's
A photo shoot because you're so good looking.
it was only for me. I don't know why, but there was like 12 pictures. It was supposed to be for a calendar. And I don't know why. I did it. Hey, you
When
gotta pay
we-
the rent, right? Yeah.
when we came
funny.
second place, who did we come second place to?
BS 101.
BS
Awesome.
Yeah.
If Daryl wouldn't have been there.
It's hard to beat those guys, that's for sure.
That's
It
very
is. How do you
true.
beat those puppets? You can't.
It's-
beat
Yeah,
They're
you
so
can't.
Your stage
awesome.
presence is
oh, they
so
put on
much.
an amazing show.
Yeah.
It's enormous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for a long time.
They have, yeah. They're super tight, and
Yes.
they have a good time doing it too.
Oh, yeah, you
Oh,
can tell.
yeah.
Visibly.
You get a real sense of fun.
Oh,
off
yeah.
them. All right, so talk about Keep Calm. We're going out here with Keep Calm. What do we need to know about this song?
This song really just represents. This is starting to sound like a lot of mushy love stuff, but hey, why
A lot
not?
of songs are written about that.
Keep calm,
you
carry
sad,
on. Look, okay, I have had a weird life. Anyways, keep calm and carry on.
We'll cover that the next time you're on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nevertheless, it's just a song about moving on, pretty
Moving
much.
on.
All right.
All right, you've been listening to Arts Talk on 102.7 Chop FM. I'm Dave Peters.
I'm Taylor Koss.
And next week, I think we're going to have
It's a surprise.
a surprise. So tune in at 5:45. You never know what you're
Keep
going to
calm and listen to ArtsTalk.
Keep calm and listen
I'm
to
going to make
Arts
that
Talk.
a meme.
Yeah, we get royalties on that.
Yeah, you guys. Inspired by Bartrick.
Our thanks once again to Bartrick, and this is Keep Calm by Bartrick on 102.7 Chop FM.